In the dusty village of El Araba El Madfuna in Egypt, the Temple of Seti I sits in near silence, a fading monument to a time humanity has almost forgotten. But in the late summer of 1935, a British archaeologist named Dr. William Hadley ventured deep into one of the temple's lesser-known chambers alone. He was studying the strange carvings, impossible depictions of helicopters, submarines, and flying crafts etched into stone that was supposedly over 3,000 years old. He never returned. His team searched for hours, then days. His tools were there. His journal lay open beside a wall with a circular design and inscriptions they couldn't decipher. The locals whispered that he had crossed the veil, that he had entered the realm of the gods. That the temple wasn't just stone and history, it was a gate. What if he didn't vanish? What if he passed through something we no longer understand? The ancient world was not silent. It was alive with symbols, vibrations, rituals, and hidden architecture. What we now call ruins were once engines of transformation. Sacred temples were never just places of worship, they were multidimensional structures built to interact with forces we no longer recognize. All around the globe, in India, Egypt, Peru, Cambodia, stand structures that hint at something more profound than mere ritual. These were not just buildings. They were portals. Not metaphorically, but energetically, mechanically, spiritually, something deeper. Temples weren't just places of offering. They were technologies tuned and aligned to harness the Earth's magnetic grid, sacred geometry, sound, and intention. They were constructed to help one pierce the veil, to dissolve the illusion of separation and access higher realms. In ancient Egypt, every temple was built with precise astronomical and vibrational alignments. The Temple of Karnak, for example, aligns with the solstice sun, a celestial marker believed to open energetic doorways. But this concept wasn't exclusive to Egypt. In Angkor Wat in Cambodia, the temple mirrors the movement of the stars, especially the constellation Draco, the serpent of the sky. It was believed that when the stars aligned, a window between worlds opened. Why? Because ancient people did not see the world as solid. They understood vibration. And that frequency was the true key. Every great ancient civilization used sound not as music, but as power. Chants, mantras, singing bowls, harmonic resonance. They knew sound could unlock the soul. That a specific frequency could activate dormant parts of the brain or even open portals. In the Great Pyramid, certain chambers resonate precisely with 111 Hz, a frequency tied to altered states of consciousness. Modern experiments show that 111 Hz can trigger temporal lobe activity, often associated with spiritual experiences, visions, and out-of-body states. It wasn't accidental. Temples were designed to hum with the frequencies of the cosmos and the soul. So how were these portals created? Not with electricity, but with geometry, intention, and alignment. Sacred geometry wasn't decoration. It was instruction. The flower of life carved in the Temple of Osiris. The mandalas embedded into Indian temples. The golden ratio present in Greek and Roman sanctuaries. These patterns are cosmic codes, fractal blueprints. They map the energetic fields of consciousness, and they unlock something inside us when experienced in sacred space. When you walk into such a temple, something shifts. It's not just architecture. It's an initiation. The most powerful portals don't open with machines. They open with consciousness. Ancient initiates were trained to purify the body, clear the mind, and raise the soul's vibration. Only then could they activate the inner door. The temples were guides, not gates. They helped the initiate step beyond the limits of flesh and time. Through meditation, fasting, chanting, and sacred ritual, they could shift perception and access realms beyond this world. The veil, they believed, was not outside of you. It was within you. Let's travel. In South America, the Incan temple of Coricancha once glowed with gold and vibrated with solar energy. The walls were lined with crystal and metal, focusing light and heat, not just as worship, but as activation. In India, the temples of Hampi and Khajuraho have layered geometries designed to entrain the mind into meditative bliss, opening altered states through sight and sound. In Japan, the torii gates symbolize the boundary between the mundane and the sacred. When one passes through, they symbolically cross into the realm of spirits. It's all the same message. The physical is not the limit. The temple is a bridge. Why did we forget? Why are these temples now tourist sites rather than soul portals? Because the knowledge was hidden, or lost, or forbidden. When the Roman Empire collapsed, when colonialism swept across continents, when science replaced spirit, we turned sacred sites into ruins and called the ancients primitive. But they were never primitive. They were tuned to something we've lost touch with. And perhaps, some of them never stopped using the portals. There are whispers even now. People who vanish in sacred places. Meditators who travel beyond the body and return with visions of places they could not have known. There are stories of monks who disappear for weeks inside Himalayan caves. Of shamans who enter ancient temples and emerge changed, their eyes filled with light, speaking languages no one understands. Is it madness? Or did they pass through something invisible? Could it be that the temples are still alive, waiting for someone who remembers? The ancient mystics didn't just build temples to access higher dimensions. They built them to mirror the inner temple, the structure of human consciousness itself. You are the map. The pineal gland, the seat of vision. The heart, the generator of frequency. The breath, the vehicle of light. The veil is not between worlds. It's between you and your infinite self. Step through it, and everything changes. As you listen to these words, ask yourself, what if the reason you're drawn to ancient places is because you've been there before? What if the temples are not abandoned? What if they're waiting patiently for your return? The veil is thin. The world you see is not the only one. Close your eyes, breathe, and listen.